Hey guys, John Conley from UncleJohnSoap.com. Forgive me, had a lot of caffeine today. So, yesterday, it finally got the better of me. I've been letting my beard bush out for, I don't know, 3 months. Trying to get a little bit more width and length to it for our upcoming contest in Ocean City at 28th Street Pit and Pub in Ocean City, Maryland. If you're in the area, anywhere within a couple hours, come on down. It's Friday night, September 9th from, I don't know, I think officially it's like 6 to 9. We're there 5 to 10 easy, so stop by, get some great barbecue, some good local craft brew, you know, have fun. If you got a beard, if you don't have a beard, you can enter the contest. You can make up a beard. You can make a beard that pastes on. We have a category for the fakest beard. Again, I've got a lot of caffeine today. Anyway, yesterday it got the better of me, and I've been working nights and days, and you know, I have multiple jobs, so I took my clippers. I've been searching for a barber to do things the way I want them, and it hasn't worked. So I think I did all right. Shaped it up, and I didn't touch the mustache. If I go any shorter, it's going to curl into my mouth. So I'll just keep it the way it is. Anyway, cut my hairs too. Not that I got many left, but you guys know that I started making a pumpkin spice shave soap. And no, they don't come with a Valley Girl accent and a pair of Uggs. But it's great stuff. It smells like somebody's been baking in here. The first batch went really well, poured well, smelled great, worked great, sold out like that. Good issue to have. Then I ran out of jars and fragrance. One of the fragrances that I use. People were patient. I appreciate that. And I got the orders filled. And the next batch, after I got my materials, totally went sideways on me. Yup. It got sticky. Pretty much turned into peanut butter in the bowl. I got 2 jars filled, and I got those shipped out to the 2 remaining guys that were on my waiting list. And then I kind of stopped. I gave up. I took what was left and stuffed it into one of those sausage pack tubes that I use for my cold process round bars, and just figured, what the heck, we'll see what happens. I let it sit for a day in that, and then I cut it open, cut it into pucks, pretty thick pucks, and I thought, well, maybe we could sell pucks. We use dual eye. It's too soft of a soap to do that with. I started thinking, some days that's good, some days that's not so good. Started thinking, we take a jar like this and we'll sacrifice it, and I keep it in its own little spot to do samples. We have little clear 1/3 ounce jars, and we'll wash our hands first. Cleanliness, sanitation. We will scoop out soap and pack that jar until it hits the rim, and then cap it, label it, and there's your sample. Well, this is nothing but a huge sample jar. Why can't we just pack it in there by hand? Alright, so I started taking the discs, the pucks that I cut, and weighing them out and cutting and making little piles until I got at least 5 ounces worth of soap by weight in each pile. And then I took a jar, an empty jar, and packed it in there like a sample jar. Here's what it looks like. It looks like I packed it in there with my hand. You can see it's not perfect. It's not poured. There's a few voids in there. But it works great. It's got the same or more weight to it. Same or more volume. You know, this is an 8 ounce jar. It's listed on my website as 4 ounces worth of soap in an 8 ounce jar. Half a jar. Which leaves room, presumably, for you to load your brush. I always go higher than that. You can kind of see. Well, that creeps up the side a little bit. It's a little deceiving. That's closer right there. You can see I go more than half. So what are your thoughts on that? How do you feel about that, the soap being packed in here by hand? Tell me. Can't hurt my feelings. Well, there's a little tear. But anyway. So, does it bother you guys that we scrub up surgically almost? We don't. Sometimes we use gloves, sometimes we won't. It all depends. But how do you feel about that? Does it bother you? Would you rather not have a soap that's done that way? I mean, we do our samples that way. It really shouldn't bother you as long as, you know, like I said, we've cleaned our hands and everything. So check this out. Here's some of our soap that was cut. I've got a few left, doing samples with them and stuff like that. And about the voids in the jar, I used to load my brush in the jar and then lather on my face. Well, two things. One, I don't have a whole lot of lather room here. Two, I find it oddly relaxing to take one of my Alfred Wayman mini shave bowls and work up a lather in there. The other thing is, I don't load my brush from the jars anymore. Even with a harder soap, I will find a way to dig out a little bit of soap, smoosh it, there's that word again, into the bottom of my mug or bowl or whatever I'm using, and then work up my lather there. There's a couple things. One, I don't bloom my soaps, none of them. I don't care what it is. I will just add extra water as needed in the bowl. The other thing is, when I don't bloom or lather in the jar, it's just like a pass around. It stays cleaner. I don't have to dry it out. Like, I don't have to leave it sitting out in the open with the lid off. I can put it right back in the pile with the other jars. So I've read a lot of blogs where they, you know, tell you how to lather samples, and they say, take an almond-sized piece of soap. How big's an almond? I have no idea. I've never held one. Is it like a peanut, a walnut, cashew? So I'll usually take maybe like a healthy peanut size, and actually I could probably do with half of that, and I'll smoosh that into the bowl. Let me go show you here. So there's our almond, peanut, maybe 3/4 of a cashew worth of soap. I'm just pushing it into the bottom of the mug. I like to do it like this anyway. And actually, that bit that I grabbed is probably, I could probably do half of that and get enough lather for a 3-pass shave. I don't usually soak my brushes either, I gotta tell you. I don't know why. If I do, I may soak the end of it, or I'll wet it before I get in the shower and shake most of the water out and then just let it sit. Usually I lay it on its side so I don't get too much water build up down in here, but so, and then I'll do a little bit of water on the soap, dump it right back off. But again, I like to just what do I want to say? Brain dead. So I just like to take a pinch out of the jar because I don't have to worry about drying it and all that. I used to just face lather, you know, load from the jar and face lather. Two things. One, I find that I get a better lather overall if I work it up this way first for a minute. Even if I just stop here and then face lather from the bowl, I can dip in again if I need to. Now you can see I didn't wet my brush a lot. I mean, I didn't soak it. I just wet it and squeezed it out. Now it's starting to get a little dry. Just a touch of water. And honestly, my soaps tend to be a little thirsty, I think. So you could probably, let's go a little overboard with the water and see what happens. Now these bowls don't have a lot of texture, so it might take an extra minute or extra few swirls or something. But to me, this is a great lather. So anyway, I guess that's enough to kind of get the point across. Although I find this therapeutic, just sitting here working up a lather. It used to piss me off because, I don't know, I was always in a hurry to go somewhere, get my shave done and get out. Now I tend to find it, at least parts of it, kind of relaxing. It's not like I shave my whole face. I shaved my beard last night. Looks good, doesn't it? And I shaved my cheeks and my neck and kind of did the whole take care of me thing yesterday. At least for a half hour. So yeah, I think that's plenty. So let me know your thoughts on the jars, guys. Part of me feels kind of weird that I pressed the soap in, but sometimes batches are going to set up quickly. It just happens. And when that happens, I don't mind taking the extra time to press the soap into the jars. But tell me your thoughts. Is that weird to you? Is it acceptable? Whatever. I'm looking for your input and your thoughts, and I would appreciate it if you, and I got to watch where I post when I say stuff like this, but if you're looking for pumpkin spice, it says temporarily out of stock on the website, but I do have enough jars that, if you shoot me a message first, I'll make sure that you can click on the link on the website and pick it up. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Never mind. Alright guys, so give me your feedback. If you buy pumpkin spice on the website, shave soap, that's the product you're getting. At this point, I can't figure out why it keeps setting up so fast. But what I have found is that it's still a great soap. It still makes great lather. It still smells fantastic. It smells like somebody's been baking in here when I open that up and lather it. So, let me know your thoughts on it. I'm going to sell them that way, but I'd still like your feedback. I still have to recoup costs, and like I said, it's still a great performing product, but I do value your opinions, so let's see what you guys got. Be gentle. I'm sleep deprived, but I look good. Cleaned up my beard, cut my hair, what's left of them. Alright guys, have a great Sunday. I'll talk to you this week.